Hi everyone, I'm Marek, Handzel, the editor of Institutional Real Estate Europe, and I'm going to take you through some of the highlights of the December 2021 issue. The first feature I'd like to draw your attention to is Art or Science by Chris Anderson. This article asks if it's fair to accuse valuers of mispricing assets across the board, as they are, among other things, working with redundant information, or so the criticism goes. Chris points out in his article that according to Real Capital Analytics, office prices increased by 8.5% in central Paris, 4.3% in central London, and 2.7% in Boston over in the US in the 12 months through to March. At the same time, however, as we all know, other cities have experienced big price reductions. So how do we explain the rising prices in some cities? Is it actually down to the valuers? What does it say about their processes? And are valuations based on intuition and experience or up-to-date analytics? And Chris delves further into that topic for us. The second article tackles a theme that's been running for months and months now, which is the future of the office, which sort of ties into the valuation piece, and it's called Still Standing by James Wallace. On the surface, James points out that office demand across Europe is showing tentative signs of recovery. And office investment markets tend to be correlated to employment growth, with more city jobs driving demand for office space. In the UK, GDP is set to grow by 6.5% this year, according to a forecast from the Independent Office for Budget Responsibility. The fastest annual rate in more than 3 decades. Across Europe, GDP has almost recovered to pre-pandemic levels in France, Germany and Italy. But at the same time, the pandemic has weakened the office demand employment growth correlation, that old equation or ratio that we used to have. So as occupier demand still lags and office utilization rates remain stubbornly low. So it's a bit of a problem, a bit of an issue obviously, but James concludes by saying that sluggish office revival does not necessarily spell wholesale changes to the sector in Europe. We also have a piece on student housing. Reino Nonagasa, Executive Chairman at International Campus Group, says that purpose-built student accommodation remains a safe and resilient asset class, with plenty of upside growth in Central Europe. And for our Speaker's Corner slot, Catherine Campbell, Head of Real Estate Disputes at law firm Reed Smith, warns that post-pandemic UK regulations are leaving landlords with nowhere to turn. Recently, another landlord's challenge to a company voluntary arrangement has failed, and the case serves to highlight what little leverage a landlord now has in the battle to get rent arrears paid. A major problem for a lot of landlords and investors now. So if you want to find out a bit more about these and more articles, then check them out in the December 21 issue of Institutional Real Estate Europe. And to give you a little snippet into the next issue, January 2022, we have a roundup of the main talking points from our Americas, Europe and Asia Pacific editorial board meetings. A global look at the state of real estate debt investment, among other things. So stay tuned and look out for that issue, and thanks for watching.